Hello and welcome back. This is where the golf swing gets to just become a lot of fun because of the athletic things that we do, and it's very exciting, okay? Now we know that you don't have the cube to be inside of right now, but it is the best way for you to learn because of the information and how we go about showing you why things have to be a certain way, okay? So let's get started. First of all, when I get set up in my posture and everything's really good, and we've already talked about our setup and our grip and our alignment and all the different things that we need. So now I get into this position. Now we need to reference the line going from my hip. I'm in good posture. I put the shaft down on this line. So the line going from center, which is basically where our center of mass is, down to 5 o'clock. Okay, now watch this. When I get set up in my posture and I'm really good, everything's solid. So now if I go like this and I fan this thing in way too quick, see how I've kind of gone way inside, way too quick. Not only for us, but the PGA Tour swing, for any swing that you ever could make, everybody says, oh, you can't take the club way in too side, and they're absolutely right, okay? Now here's the reason why. Think of the line going from center to 5 o'clock. What we do is very simple. We're not gonna, see if I swing my arms like this, how if I take this club away, that kind of looks like the modern PGA Tour swing. The club head is way outside of my hands right now. Everything's really good. But this angle of the shaft does not match up, okay? And here's how we do it. So instead of us swinging our arms to get to this position, we just do it with our hip. Everything that we do in this golf swing is dictated by the movement of the hip. So watch how we do it. We're set up in good posture. Everything's solid as a rock. Now I'm not going to swing my arms. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to shift. Now, if you look at the position of my shaft in reference to that orange line, I'm perfectly parallel to it. And right now, the club head is still, if I pick this club up, look how far outside of my hands that the club head actually is. Now I'm going to put it back down to where we've got, and we're right here at this position. We're parallel to the line going from 5 o'clock to my hip, which is a mirrored reflection of my spine going from center to 1 o'clock. So it matches up cubically inside of the cube, and that's what makes it exciting, and that's what makes it fun. So all I'm really doing is I'm using my hip to start tracing the geometry of these lines, and it puts me in such a fantastic position. If I take my hand off of here, look at that. It's parallel to that spot, but the butt of this club is pointing to the inside part of my left hip socket, which is going to be about, let me slide over, about right there, okay? So it's not pointing at my center like my belt buckle. Right here is my left hip on this side of me. So I'm like this over here, and it's going to be pointing at my left hip socket, which is not on the outside. It is inside of me. And when I'm like this, and I have my hands set up, see how we've done that? Remember, we talked about, you know, how the body gets set up. Well, when I get set up, there's like this little press movement forward before we start the swing. So I'm like this, I get set up in my good posture. Let me slide over here for a second. So I'm like this. See how my hand is now, if I come over this way some, that's a good way to see it. I'm here. Now, I get like this. See how this shaft is pointing right at my left hip socket. It is not pointing at the center of me. That's no good, okay? It has to be slightly angled forward like this. So it's just, I'm here. Now watch my wrist. Just like that. Points right at it. Creates a nice linear line between the left arm and the shaft. Very, very simple, okay? So now we're going to get back into the cube real quick. Get set up correctly. Now watch this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to shift. And when I shift, look at what this does. It puts everything so dynamically together, and it has started the swing from the inside out versus the outside in. PGA Tour, modern golf swing, however you want to think about it, their first move is to get these arms moving, okay? Now the reason I'm hitting it is because I've trained in the cube for so long now, but their first move is boom, and they start to go here. See how this is lifting? Right here it's going to get parallel to it, which is good, but it's not going to go where it needs to go. And I'm going to show you why in a couple more videos where this move is an absolute killer for the modern golf swing, okay? But what we're doing, watch how close this shaft stays to here. See how it's here? It's in front of me. Everything I'm doing is in front of me. I've made no attempt to swing my arms. All I'm doing is I'm shifting. Now watch this. If I put the shaft up here like this, and I just I'm set up in good posture. I'm where I need to be, and I'm just going to shift. Okay? And what happens is I go here like this. See how I'm moving? This shoulder is kind of moving down. If you can see the line going from the blue line from 12 o'clock all the way down to 2 o'clock on blue, watch what happens. This left shoulder is starting to move down that line. See how it's just going down this line as I shift. And it's just going to follow the natural geometrical movement that my body wants to make. So what we're going to do, we'll be right back, and we're going to start talking a little bit more about why this is so important.